dryer really adds to that. You'd have to keep it in that dry heat for a longer period than in the wet heat in the washing machine. And one thing, you probably want to just change your pillow routinely every once in a while, like you change your toothbrush for oral hygiene.
And there's a final question that we have here. It says, if you lose your sense of smell, do fragrances still affect asthma and or allergies?
I can prove it. That's a good a lot of people have a what I call a sino-bronchial reflex, and that really wouldn't be triggered by the if that was your problem, that as soon as your nose or sinus goes, I guess I'll leave the sinus out, say a nasal, if your nose becomes inflamed and that triggers your asthma, I think that you'd have to have it. See, the problem I hear, as soon as I hear that you don't have a sense of smell, I'm thinking of polyps up in the nose. And I'm thinking, when I think of polyps, I think of sinusitis, which I think is an aggravating factor of asthma. I don't think if you had the odor to trigger the receptors in the nose, if you didn't perceive it, it really wouldn't mean much. On the other hand, you're losing your defensive mechanism once you've lost your sense of smell of letting you know there's maybe a bad odor around. So then you'd be, and again, if I hear lack of sense of smell, if it's due to polyps in the nose, you may be mouth breathing, so now you're breathing in this irritant that you're unable to smell into your lungs, and there could serve as a direct irritant. But I believe you have to stimulate the nose, which you wouldn't be doing if you didn't smell it. But I'd be real worried why I couldn't smell it. I hope I answered that.
That's a good point.
Do you have a comment, Alex, on that?
No, I think you covered that very well. Are there any? That's the only questions I have written. Does anyone want to ask one verbal question, or are there any other questions about any aspect of this area? Well, yes.
Allergy shots? Yeah, allergy shots. There was the slide about the allergy shots, and there were it is proven treatment for the cat, the dust mite, I think it said grass and ragweed pollen. If you put an allergy shot where you combined 43 different things, that's not proven. Not to say it doesn't work, it's just not proven. So be aware of one thing, and I think that goes back to the question about the nose. Very often people have what I call total airway disease, so they have that nasal condition, and they have the sinus condition and the asthma. So the allergy shot, if it helped your nasal condition a lot, that might help the asthma indirectly. So if it was felt that dust mite or cat or one of those pollens were the cause of your asthma, and you couldn't avoid the allergen, and medications were not controlling you, then the injections may be a helpful treatment.
Now, usually allergy shots are held if the pulmonary function test shows a certain decrease in breathing, so they're not usually given. And also, anyone with asthma that does get allergy shots usually has to have epinephrine as an emergency measure, and that is a very important thing. Any other things you gentlemen want to contribute? Well, I guess that's the